Shalom, shalom, Israel. Uh, Getting ready for the Passover. I'd like to send a message to everybody, to the whole house of Israel. This is an important day to us, to our Lord and Savior, the Mashiach Jesus Christ. And I know some of y'all are new. This might be your first year keeping the Passover, so you probably don't know what to expect. But I just like to tell you, first and foremost, know that it is a very important day as far as the Most High is concerned. It shows your devotion and dedication to the Most High and his son, our Messiah, the current high priest under the order of Melchizedek, Jesus Christ. Some call him Yahshua, some call him Yahushua. And I just like to encourage y'all, if you have, it's the new year, it's the real new year, it's the Most High's new year. Shalom, Sister Janet. And so, I think it's no coincidence that our first true holiday or holy day is the Passover, right? In which that's probably the only time I can see where the whole house of Israel was obedient, as far as we know, to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Through faith. He told us to put the blood over the doorpost in order to stop us from being killed. You know what I mean? As far as I know, everybody did it. I could be wrong. I go back and check, but I don't remember any of the Israelites dying with the firstborn of Egypt. And so, that's a reminder to us that when we in one mind and one body, we can do it. There's no schisms, as they say, schisms in the body. And I like to share a quick story with y'all. I remember my first Passover, man, like it was yesterday. It was in 1995. 1995 was 95 or 96. I came into the truth in 95, but I immediately took the Passover. So it had to be, I think that was in August though, so I missed that one. But the following year I had my first Passover. And I think it was at Brother Abraham's house. I didn't keep it at the class. I kept it at he used to have these gatherings or whatever. Shout out to Brother Abraham over the house of Jacob. And if I'm not mistaken, he was with the ILG at the time. And it was a beautiful thing, man. I learned a lot, and it was real family oriented and all that. So, we know nothing is perfect in this life. You know what I'm saying? We all had differences with brothers and sisters and your spouse or your family members or whatever. But let all that go before you go to the Lord's Passover. You know what I'm saying? You could really start noticing the significance of the Passover. Of course, it's first mentioned in the 12th chapter of Exodus. And, it's first mentioned in the 12th chapter of Exodus. But my point I was making, I almost forget, is that it's not a coincidence that in the beginning of the year, the first feast week we have is to purge out all old leaven. You know how they come with the so-called New Year resolution? The Gentiles came up with the New Year resolution or stuff that you're going to change for this year. Well, that's the real New Year resolution, is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's why you purge out all that old leaven. So all that stuff that you might have been doing or you shouldn't, you felt you should improve in, you get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? You get rid of that during this time. And to show you how significant it is, because like I was saying, I remember when I saw how important it was, the first thing you kind of do is if something happened and you can't make it, you get scared. Because, when you read the law, and of course, you can go to Exodus, the 34th chapter also, and the layout of all the mandatory feasts that we are commanded to keep by God is in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. So you'll find it in there too. And it's one of them ones, man. You know, the Feast on Unleavened Bread, especially, you know, the first day and the last day, you know, you would get cut off. You would get cut off. And so it's about that time, man. If y'all ain't got it all out, y'all need to be getting all that leavened bread up out your crib, you know, donuts and cookies and all that type of stuff. That's still bread. You know what I'm saying? We used to go overboard with it. Like we was throwing out all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Toothpaste and everything. It's the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And so, you know, so yeah, man, it's a good time in Israel. I love these times of the year. They only come once a year. And on that note, if something happens to where, say you got to work and you just can't make it to the Passover, I know you're going to be nervous and trembling. Just remember, it's in, matter of fact, it's in Numbers. Let me see if I can find it. Numbers, the 9th chapter. You can always do the makeup Passover, right? So this is how important it is to the Lord that he give you a makeup date. So you ain't got no excuse for it. And that's only under severe circumstances that you didn't make it. You know, it's not optional. And so if you go to Numbers, the 9th chapter, it says, I start from the beginning. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the 2nd year after they will come out of the land of Egypt, saying, let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season. So this is an appointed season for us to keep the Passover. No ifs, ands, or buts. In the 14th day of this month at even, ye shall keep it in his appointed season, according to all the rites of it, and according to all the ceremonies thereof shall ye keep it. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover. And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at even in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did the children of Israel. Now watch this, this is key. So say the 14th day, which is coming up right now at sundown, of the first month, Abib, which is our new year. Now that's where the whole term April Fools come from, you know, because when we was over there, when we was in Europe and stuff, you know, we was scattered over there, you know, their new year was January, representing the god Janus, where the god of Israel was always around April, March, up in there. That's the way Abib always fell. So they would call the Israelites April Fools. You know what I'm saying? That's my understanding of it. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with being an April Fool. Fool for the Lord. So look, right? It say verse 5. It say, and they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month of even in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did the children of Israel. And there were certain men who were defiled by dead bodies of a man, that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and before Aaron that day. So it was some men that was defiled by a dead body. So they couldn't come to the feast defiled. You know what I'm saying? They probably had to bury somebody or something like that, right? So, you know, this is a serious situation because they know they got to keep the Passover. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's mandatory. And so look at the provision the Lord made. So look at this. It say, and those men said unto him, we are defiled by the dead body of a man. Wherefore are we kept back, that we may not offer an offering of the Lord in his appointed season among the children of Israel? So they got a question mark, like, man, so man, we gonna be in trouble, man. We can't even, you know, because they did offerings and things like that during the Passover. They was like, man, we can't come, you know, give our honor and due process before the Lord. Like, what we gonna do, right? And so it say, and Moses said unto them, stand still, and I will hear what the Lord will command concerning you. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if any man of you or of your posterity shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, and listen to this, because a lot of y'all probably ain't around here touching dead bodies too often. Now peep this, it says, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover unto the Lord. The 14th day of the 2nd month, at even they shall keep it and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. So it says, if by some chance something happened at work, you know, and not something that you just chose not to do, you know what I'm saying? But if, say, by some chance, you know, something happened with your job, or you got stranded and you can't make a holy convocation, you can't get to your spot, you know what I'm saying? He made a escape for you. He said, man, okay, well, on the second month, which will be next month, which is what, April, May, right? On the 14th day, so it'll be the exact same day, the middle of the month, next month, the same time at even, you can keep the Passover. And let me show you this, though. Here's the point to let you know he ain't playing no games. It says, the 14th day of the second month and even, they shall keep it and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. So if, say, by some chance y'all can't get off work, what y'all do is, y'all can't make it tonight, what y'all do is, y'all notify your job, pray to the Lord, ask him to move some things around for you, and notify your job, get you one of them papers. If you can, contact, if you in one of the cities with one of the camps, one of the classes, you contact the teacher there and tell them you need a religious rights paper. I can't think of the exact name of it, but we get them all the time. And you take that to your job and you let them know, I need this day off, these days off, such and such, next month at this time, right? Just do that. The Lord, he gonna make it happen. He gonna make it happen. Don't even wither in your faith. I've seen it. He gonna make it happen. He gonna touch that boss heart. He gonna make it happen. You're gonna be able to keep the Passover, right? So it says, they shall leave none of it until the morning, nor break any bone of it, according to all the ordinance of the Passover, they shall keep it. But the man that is clean, so meaning you ain't got no excuse, and is not in a journey, so you ain't have to work, you ain't too far off, right? And forbeareth to keep the Passover, even the same soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he brought not the offering of the Lord in his appointed season. That man shall bear his sin. So you see how serious that is, right? You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no, you know, I think I'll keep it next year. I ain't gonna keep it this year. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, if you're in one of them spots where you off in a rural area in the woods somewhere, and you know, you can't get to no class, you ain't got nobody, got it at your crib. Make sure you partake, get that bread and that wine. You see what I'm saying? But that's only if you in them circumstances. If you can go have a holy convocation, then you most definitely need to do that. You see what I'm saying? Go to the sanctuary where the offerings, you know what I'm saying, will be. Now, let's see. It says, and if a stranger shall join among you and will keep the Passover unto the Lord according to the ordinance of the Passover and according to the manner thereof, so shall he do. You shall have one ordinance both for the stranger and for him that was born in the land. And so, even so, that go for other nations too. So that's letting you know, if you serve in the Most High and you saying that you are a sojourner of the house of Israel, I don't care if you Chinese, if you serve in the Most High God of the Bible, then that go for you too. And of course, there's other scriptures you can go to show that as far as the males, you need to be cut. Y'all know what I mean. Snippet. No turtlenecks. No anteaters. Y'all get it? I ain't trying to be too detailed. You gotta get that taken care of before you can drink that bread and that wine. Now, I know classes that I come from, if you say you're not circumcised, they're not gonna forbid you from coming to the Passover. God forbid. No, you just don't partake in the wine and you know, the bread and wine till you get that taken care of. But at least you show the Lord you trying until you get that taken care of and you showing up. You see what I'm saying? But don't drink. If you under the turtleneck act, brothers, don't touch that wine and bread. That is a ceremonial thing. You see what I'm saying? And so I'd rather you be safe than sorry. And so yeah, so everybody, I encourage y'all, man. I thank the Most High It's about my 24th Passover, and I always get excited around this time of year. Tomorrow will be the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, so I'm gonna make sure I get the rest of my bread and stuff about the crib. We don't think we got that much. And the first day is a holy convocation, and the last day is a holy convocation. And so those are mandatory as well. Say the same thing, you get cut off. So like I said, man, as far as the Passover though, if something come up, y'all can't make it tonight, you know, something vital like your job or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Just check out Numbers, Numbers the 9th chapter, and it'll tell you how you keep it the following month around the same time. And so if y'all over in the Riverdale area, Chicago, something like that, I hope to see y'all. You know what I'm saying? We represent the God of Israel, and I hope to see y'all there, family. Love y'all. Shalom, shalom. Peace.